Cinematography is a vital part of every film. It establishes a film's mood and keeps the viewer's eye and interest in the movie. Because of this, cinematographers must utilize the principles and elements of design to the full extent. Let's start with balance. Balance is achieved when all the elements of a particular shot are organized as to get a feeling of stability. There are three types of balance: symmetrical balance, asymmetrical balance, and radial balance. Symmetrical balance is when both sides of a shot are similar. In asymmetrical balance, both sides are different, but the visual weight is still evenly distributed to achieve a feeling of stability. Radial balance centers the elements of a shot around a central point. This principle ties well into repetition, as the use of repeating patterns can create symmetry and thus visual balance. Repetition can be used in film shots to create a sense of balance and stability. This repetition can include the use of specific colors or shapes within a film shot. I feel that repetition can be utilized well in scenes set in grocery stores, as the use of packaging can create colorful, visually interesting patterns. This principle also ties well into unity, as the use of repeating patterns in parts of a film set, such as carpets or wallpaper, can make the scenes feel more unified. Emphasis focuses on the part of a shot that catches the viewer's eye. This principle is closely related to color, as the use of strong colors can draw emphasis to certain elements of a film shot. Tonal contrast, the difference between light and dark, is also important for emphasis. This makes emphasis all the more apparent in black and white films, as the lack of color forces cinematographers to utilize tonal contrast to create visually appealing shots. I find that science fiction films can make great use of the blackness of space to create contrast and emphasis. Proportion and perspective can create a feeling of depth in film shots. By manipulating the camera's placement and angle to change proportions, cinematographers can make certain elements more dominant. This will, consequently, change a shot's visual balance. Individual shots need to have a feeling of harmony and completeness between all their elements in order to achieve visual unity. More than that, truly great cinematography establishes a feeling of unity and rhythm between all shots of a film. A film needs to maintain a consistent feel throughout its running time, otherwise it will feel disjointed. Some ways in which unity can be achieved is the consistent use of a film's color palette, specific camera filters, or a unique visual setting. A film's conveyance of texture can create specific moods and establish setting. In film, textures can be shown not only through cinematography, but also through sound. Texture can be especially apparent in movies with a gritty feel, or films focusing on nature. Use of lighting and tonal contrast is very important for cinematography. The use of lighting in a scene can be used to set a particular mood and also establish characters. As mentioned earlier, tonal contrast is especially apparent in black and white films. I find that I admire cinematographers who can create great shots without the use of color, as tonal contrast can, at times, be harder to work with. This element is obviously tied closely with the principle of emphasis, as different lighting conditions will emphasize different elements of a shot. A film's use of color is extremely influential on the look of its cinematography. The use of strong colors can make certain scenes more vibrant and emphasize specific elements of a shot. In addition, the inclusion of varying colors throughout a shot will make it more eye-catching and visually interesting. Color can also enhance the meaning and themes of certain films, like the Three Colors trilogy. The Three Colors trilogy uses the namesake colors, which coincide with those on the French flag, to explore the three political ideals of France. By utilizing silhouettes and other cinematography tricks, shapes can become much more emphasized and thus add to the visual appeal. of a shot. The focus on specific, defined shapes within a shot can hold the viewer's interest longer and help in attaining visual balance. This element is directly tied to contrast, as the manipulation of contrast is what is used to create silhouettes. Direction is integral in determining the mood and feeling of a shot. There are three types of direction. The first is horizontal direction, which gives off a feeling of stability and calmness. The second, vertical direction, suggests formality and alertness. Finally, oblique direction gives a feeling of movement and action. The subconscious effect the direction of specific elements has on our feeling of a shot is important for great cinematographers to know about and utilize. In closing, cinematography is absolutely an essential part of film. Through the use of the principles and elements of design, cinematographers can create masterful, beautiful works of art.